Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherry Hansen. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Marv Enslin. We're at the Vergas State Bank. Marvin, you've been at the Vergas State Bank for 26 years. And so that means that what we're doing here is we're talking about a retirement celebration for Marvin. So it's pretty exciting, isn't it? Well, what comes to mind when you think of your retirement, Marv?
Well, I guess what comes to mind is a little bit like my father said when he was told me that he was going to not going to make any hay, and he said, "You know what that means?" And I said, "Yeah, that means you're going to sell the cows." And I think my story is that it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Yeah, you know, you've been here for 26 years, Marv. How did you get started in the banking business?
Initially, my career began in finance work specific to the farm financing. I was with the Production Credit Association, which was credit availability to farmers specific, and I spent 13 years in that.
Okay.
Took a 3-year change as just a consultant in agriculture, and then was looking for something different, a change. The position was open here at the bank, and interviewed with then President, the late Gordon Dahlgren, and began working shortly thereafter.
I was here already. I remember I was just going on leave, so we can always kind of remember how many years you were here by my youngest son being born, and spent some time at home with him.
Yep.
And your title here, Marv?
I am a loan officer.
And so you've seen a lot of people.
I have been a loan officer, and I will leave as a loan officer.
Okay. Yeah. And so, boy, 26 years, you've seen some change.
I have.
Well, but you know what I notice here is we still got the typewriter. You know, a lot of people talk about change and the technology thing, but we just have never gotten rid of our typewriters.
No,
and I bet you use that every day, don't you?
I use it each day. With a little more competency than the day that I arrived here. As my previous employment, I usually had an office assistant that did the typing. The day I was interviewing with Gordon, I asked, well, which one of the people will assist me? And he pointed at the typewriter at the end of the desk, and I pretty much knew who would be doing the typing. and that goes back to when it was a manual typewriter, and if documents had to be completed in duplicate or triplicate, why, it was messing with black carbon paper in the days prior to no carbons even, and so and my typing was not very good.
Well, you know, when you mention that, Gordon, he did a lot of typing.
Yes,
I mean, he always did his own typing too, and so I imagine that's was just a common thing for him to expect you to do. What have you enjoyed most about your job, Marv?
The people.
Oh, yeah.
The people contact. In one of my previous careers, I was a loan officer as well, moved into administrative work, and after about 3 years of that, I resigned the administrative duty and went back to becoming a loan officer. It was because I missed the contact with the customers.
With the people. I mean, because there's just all types of customers that come through your door every day, and you built up just a really nice customer clientele base too. I know that there's a lot of people that, well, we're going to go in and see Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they come in to play with my toys.
Well, you do have a few toys on your desk
got
here.
A couple of things. This particular item, which is called an ooze tube, has many fingerprints on it.
Well, it has many fingerprints. Do you turn that on when your customer comes in, and then that's how long they get to sit at your desk?
They usually
play with it.
Do that, yeah.
Yes, they do. And then you must enjoy working with your fellow co-workers, right, Marv?
I do. I do. And while I am retiring at 26 years, there are several, including yourself, that have longer tenure than that.
Yeah, there's a lot of years and longevity in the employment of people here. And so what does that say to you?
It says that we must have been satisfied, or are satisfied.
Right.
I mean, every day isn't a good day. There's one once in a while that kind of knocks you down, but you get back up and go to the next one.
Have you found that over the years, Marv, that the banking regulations has that gotten frustrating for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of change in that regard, and people coming through the door are subjected to a lot more provision of information and things. I mean, I can think back to some earlier days where where I would receive a phone call and an individual was needing some money and said, put it in my account and I'll be in a couple days to sign a note. And that's all it was a note. Today, the documentation is much greater than that. By the time a person makes a credit request and the loan is closed, probably has signed up to a dozen documents.
Right.
Beginning to end.
And it just has something to say too with just the way that the credit ratings and things are going, and it's not where you can just say yes, I'll be in, and you can take their word for it, unfortunately. And that was a nice way of doing banking back then, wasn't it?
It was.
It was a lot simpler.
Yeah. Simpler, probably with greater risk. There was that, but could be a little more creative in lending, I think, than what we're able to continue to do today.
That's true.
And part of that is the economics. There's been, there's no secret that the banking industry has been subjected, one, to some unscrupulous dealings, two, then requiring more regulation and more supervision, and we're subject to that.
Right. Yeah. Well, we're going to have a celebration here at the bank. We're going to have it on April 9th, open house. It'll be from 10 to 3, and hopefully everybody's going to be able to stop in.
You just won't let me sneak out.
Oh, heavens, no. And for some reason, Marv, I don't foresee you just sneaking out and not ever seeing you. What are some of your plans for retirement?
I don't have any definite plans at this time. I'm involved in some organizations and involved in church work, and I know that those things will continue.
They take time, yes.
And I have a few items on my to-do list at home. Hopefully I'll work through those. and I probably will look for something to do to occupy some of the time.
Well, just because you are a people person, I can see you wanting to stay, involved with the people in the world.
Need to find that.
Well, we could continue to have you as our Looney Day Parade chairperson, where you
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, we have had a lot of fun with the different Looney Day parades and things like that.
Yeah.
And so,
well, in fact, probably participated in all but maybe one or two of the parades.
Oh, I think
in the many years that the Looney Days has had the parade.
Right. When I think of any activity that we've had or any event that we've planned or anything with the bank, Marv, you've always been one of the first ones to say, "How can I help?" With a Relay for Life or.
But I knew need someone to point me in the direction.
Right.
I'm not that adept at leading, but I'm a team player.
Definite team player. So hopefully on April 9th, you'll have some time to stop in and wish Marv well. And it's from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock here at the Vergas State Bank. Just stop in and Marv will be here, of course. I hope some of your family will be here.
There are some plans.
There are some plans for that. And Marv, I know myself that I just have truly enjoyed working with you the last 26 years. I've been here the full time of it. And so yeah, it's not going to be an easy thing to see that transition, but I really, really do wish you well in everything that you plan on after that.
Well, thank you. Thank you, and thank you, Sherry, for you always being a lending an ear. Sometimes we just have to talk.
Yes, you do in the work
some
world.
situations, and I appreciate your ability to do that.
We worked as a good team.
Help me out.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good. Well, thank you, and you have a good day in Vergas, and be sure and stop at the Vergas State Bank on April 9th. Thanks, Marv.
You're welcome. Thank you.